Right, so if you want to make a server, it is really easy. So you just want to make a folder, so I'm just going to call it whatever. And what you want to do is install Tremulous to that folder, however you want to do it. I'm going to do it just like this. I'm just going to make sure the path is correct. And install. And delete all of that. And now you want to open this, and you can in here you can change the name. So I'm going to call this test server, and the message of the day. I'm just going to put that, and I'm going to allow downloads as well. Change the map to ATCS, and then you are going to want to run the server with a binary of your choice. So I will leave a link in the description to the TremFusion TREMDED. This one right here is the exe that will run on Windows. I'll also leave the Linux one in the description. So I'm actually going to quickly compile the Linux binary because that's the one I want to use. Oh shit. I know that I am on Windows, but I do everything in a Linux environment because it's better. But feel free to use the exes and whatever, it will work in the same way. Now, take your tremded and put it in here, so I have the exe. So if you want to run this on Windows, you'll just make like a run.bat, and if you want to run it on Linux, just type run.sh. You can call them whatever you want. This is a shell script and this is a batch file. So you want to edit, you can edit with Notepad or whatever, you just want to type. This if you're on Windows, by the way. tremded.exe, which is what it's called, yeah. tremded.exe. Set game base. Actually no, set dedicated to game base, and execute the server configuration. I'm going to, actually no, don't need to do that, I'm not going to confuse you. There, that's what you got to do. Close. And then run it. And that will open up, and that will work fine. I am going to do this, and if you want to do it on Linux, you type /. Okay, remember the /, and then you put the name of the file after the /, and then dedicated to base cfg. Done. And if you're on Windows, open the batch file. If you're on Linux, you just /, and then your run script, and there you go. I'm going to open up the Tremulous server list, and see it's not there at the moment, but if I were to set the port properly, so ignore me for 1 second, don't worry about what I'm doing, just port forward the default ports. Obviously, to get the server online, I'm just going to change the port because I port forwarded differently. I'm going to refresh now. You can see test server's now running, and I can open up a Trem client, scroll down, and test server is just right there. Join it. And there you go, you have a server. None of the admin commands work because you're running it with the default QVMs, but yeah, you go, server. and you can change the build points and stuff. So alien build points, and alien stage 2 will give you stage 3. So now I'm just going to go and die to a turret. 1 second. And now we can go Advanced Granger, and I'm stage 3 with unlimited build points, and that works fine. You won't have any issues there with that. And now, if you want to make it multi-protocol, it's really easy. First thing you want to do is, if you're on a Debian-based OS, it's useful to do this. I have a little script right here, which you can use. You can clone it or you can download it. It's just a setup compiler, so all it is a script that uses the apt command to install all dependencies that you'll need for most source codes. You can run that. And here we have some scripts which we'll use later on. And we're going to have the TREMDED, so you can use it. You can use Granger hubs or you can use debunkers. I'm just going to use Citrix 4, which is what debunker is using. And what we're going to do first of all is, in our folder area, we're going to delete the TREMDED. We're going to make a new folder called base path, and we're going to put our current base folder in the base path. Then we're going to make a home path. I'm going to make an overpath. I'm going to delete our run script. So, firstly, we're going to know what's going to go where. So, I'm just going to clone our Citrix 4 repository. And I'm going to compile it. God. Don't want it to compile all of that, I just want the server, thank you. Perfect. So we're going to compile the server. And now we have the output. I will get this, hopefully, let me see what happens. I'm going to try and get this compiled. I'm going to try and get this compiled for Windows. I'm actually going to try right now, see if it works. Nope. Okay, well, I'll get that working later. So I'll leave download for a Windows and Linux version, or Linux TREMDED. I'm going to take that and paste it in overpath. So that's where the TREMDED is going to go, in overpath. And now we're going to get some scripts. So I'm just going to clone the scripts. You don't need to use git clone, you can just download them. I just prefer to use clone because it's easier. So I'm going to copy these scripts out, delete. In config, you don't really need to change anything except from the game, which we'll go through in a minute. These are the run scripts that my own personal server uses, so you might want to customize them to your liking, so the ports, for example. So each protocol is going to run on its own port. So this is what the 1.3 protocol will run on. This is what 1.2 will run on. This is what 1.1 will run on. So make sure you have 3 ports here that are forwarded you can use. You can use, 30,720, 30,721, 30,722 if you want. It's all preference. So in home path here, we're going to make a base folder in here. Now this is where custom maps are going to go, if you want to add any. And then here you're going to have a folder named whatever you want. So I'm just going to say test server. And in here, I'm just going to quickly clone my QVM. So now you want to download a source code that has QVMs that support multi-protocol. So Bunker QVM obviously supports multi-protocol, but it's set up a little bit differently at the moment. So I'm just going to use my own AA QVM. So go to the make file, and yeah, I'll type make, and let that do its thing. Then we're going to go to out. I'm going to copy these two Slacker folders right here. Now, what you want to do is go inside the Slacker folder, copy these, paste them right here, delete the Slacker folder, and in Slacker 11, you want to copy just this on its own. And then in this GPP1 K3, we're going to delete game.qvm. There you go. Then you want to go to the link I'll have in the description, which will link you to a download to ui.pk3. Yeah, I'll put a link to ui.pk3 in the description. Just download that and put it with these pk3 files. And that's all you have to do right there. Then back up one, and in your config.sh, you're gonna copy the name of the folder right here that you've made. Go into config.sh, change the game to that folder name. Then I think we can just run it now. Oh yeah, no. So go into base path, and we're going to make a new folder called GPP. And I'm going to copy this directory right here because I'm going to run the trem GPP installer now. And I don't know why that doesn't work. Okay, hold on. Why? No, it doesn't like that. Oh well. Okay, it doesn't like it, so I'm just going to install it right here. Completed. And I'm going to delete this, but we have a GPP folder right here. And we're going to delete these two files. So you're going to have data and VMs GPP1, which I'm going to double check just because better be safe than sorry. There you go. I'm just double checking with my AA server just to make sure I've got everything right. So that is going to be like that. And that looks all good currently. And now I'm going to give it a run. And I'm going to open up Tremulous. There we go. We're going to see what happens. Scroll down. As you can see, we've got test server and all of these running. And if I join this one, it will download the GPP because it knows what protocol I'm connecting on. And there you go, I'm in the game. And it's got all my QVM functions in it. So I can give, stage, and whatever. And this is a multi-protocol server that is running fine. So I can now delete that because I don't need it anymore. So yeah, that was easy enough. It's not too difficult. And that is pretty much easy non-multi-protocol and multi-protocol server making guide.